What's up everybody, it's Roaring Gaming here. So the PlayStation 4 Pro came out yesterday. I got mine of course as well in the mail, and I've been playing on it now for a day, and many people are of course wondering, you know, even though I'm not completely forced to upgrade, should I still upgrade because the difference is really gonna be there or something, and that's what I kind of want to talk to you about. Because right now I really feel after a day of playing on my PlayStation 4 Pro, it is not worth the upgrade at all, and I do think that eventually we may see that it will be worth it, but right now at launch I can tell you there is really barely any difference in the games and stuff, and that's a very, you know, sad conclusion already to give you right in the beginning of this video. And let's get into exactly why I feel like that, because like I said, I do really think that you know, in some time from now we will see quite a massive difference, or at least a noticeable difference, which we aren't really seeing right now. Basically the big problem is right now I feel that all of these developers that have come out with their PS4 Pro patches, they're doing the absolute minimum to just meet the kind of requirements, or to be able to say we have a PS4 Pro patch right now, so you know, people that bought a PS4 Pro can enjoy a more optimized experience. But really what it comes down to is that all these developers right now are taking the existing PS4 games that they have made, and they are simply upping the resolution to, you know, 1440p, some native 4K with their compromises and stuff. Let's take for example, I'll just take The Last of Us and Uncharted as examples, right? Me myself, by the way, I do not have a 4K TV yet. I'm still playing on a 1080p TV, but I'm hearing the exact same, I'm hearing many issues already from people with a 4K TV that I will be talking about in this video as well, and it really comes down to one big problem, like I said. When you play The Last of Us right now, and you want to try the actual 4K mode, then what you will be getting is, yes, you will be getting a native 4K resolution, but that simply comes with its compromises, with its downsides. For example, you're going to be playing the game at 30 frames per second. Now, if you're already used to the 60 frames per second mode that you've played with The Last of Us on PS4, and then have to go back to 30 frames just to enjoy 4K, that in itself is already to most people not going to be worth it. At the same time, you can still play the game in 60 frames per second, and then it will be, I think it is 1800p compared to, of course, the you know, the 1080p that we got on the original PS4. But the problem with that is that even though it's a resolution bump, the game itself graphically does not look any better. The textures are still just as blurry, or as low quality, of course. And this is the thing, is that if you're looking at a blurry texture in 1080p compared to a blurry texture in 4K, there really is not going to be a difference. You know, these developers have to focus on more than just the actual resolution. They also have to focus on the in-game assets to make the game actually look better and not just sharper, because that really doesn't mean too much. You know, and the same kind of goes for Uncharted, right? It's like Uncharted is also at a higher resolution, but the rest of the game, nothing has changed. You know, the game still looks the exact same. And in that way, you know, even if you own a 4K TV, you're not really gonna notice that big of a difference, except for that it's slightly sharper to help out, you know, certain things maybe not being as jaggy, if you know what I mean. But at the same time, yes, the game in itself does not look different at all, really. And there is only one game right now, I would say, that I've played where you really see that those developers knew what they had to do, and that was Rise of the Tomb Raider. The enhanced visual, you know, you basically have 3 modes in that game, right? The enhanced visual mode does not look too much better than the original PS4 mode does right now, so even they have been in a way lazy and not really been optimizing the game at all for the Pro yet. But at least what they've done is they've added a high frame rate mode, and you immediately see that when you go from the 30 FPS that you've been playing Rise of the Tomb Raider as on PS4, if you go to the 60 frames per second mode all of a sudden, now that's a big difference. That's what you want to see from a PS4 Pro, is that if you make the investment to buy a Pro console, you want to actually see major differences. And of course, going from 30 FPS to 60 frames per second, that's a big difference. That's something where immediately, you know, my girlfriend has been playing the shit out of Rise of the Tomb Raider, and she's just been reacting in a way that, man, it's hard for me to go back now to the 30 FPS mode, you know, all of a sudden. And You know, the game also comes with a 4K mode. Like I said, I'm not really able to test it out because I don't have a 4K TV yet. Also no HDR. So in that way, those two features I've not been able to try out myself yet. But from everything that I'm hearing on the internet, it's really that issue. It's the fact that although the resolution has been bumped up and HDR has been added, which is really cool, apart from that, the games themselves don't change graphically at all. And that's what developers need to look into. They need to either make the game actually look more impressive with higher quality textures and character models, or they need to simply take the game they already had and bump up the frame rate with the additional hardware that they have right now. That's just not happening on the PS4 Pro at this moment. That's what really sucks about it, and that's why at the moment it just feels like you're wasting $400 because for me myself, you know, when I bought my PS4 Pro and I got it, yeah, it's a slightly different looking console, and I had to, you know, carry over all my hard drive data again to a new hard drive and stuff, and in that way it was quite a big of a hassle to set it up. But there's no instant gratification. You're just playing again on a PS4, and the differences that are there are very minor for most games, especially as a 1080p TV owner. And you know, the only game right now that I've noticed a massive difference is Rise of the Tomb Raider, and that's the only game where I'm happy I bought a PS4 Pro at this moment, because it actually offers me something that's better than what was there on the original PS4. That's what needs to happen for all the games moving forward. You know, I hope, and it's obvious that these developers with their existing games already are not gonna dedicate lots of resources into coming up with a big pro mode, because there's no point. These games are already selling or have already sold. They will not sell additionally just because they have a pro mode. So in that way it feels for them, I think that you know, Sony is kind of forcing them in a way to add a pro mode, and then it's not really gonna add much. So I think the big differences we are going to see in the future with games that still are yet to come out, where the developers will be putting more effort into an actual pro mode. Right now that's simply not happening, apart from, you know, as I said, only Rise of the Tomb Raider where I've really noticed it. And that's why at this moment I would not recommend the PS4 Pro. But like I said, it could very well happen that in the future you will see quite a massive difference. But you know, we're gonna have to kind of wait and see for that. For now I would say, you know, take it easy, wait. I'll make sure to report whenever, you know, there are games coming out that actually run better on the Pro compared to the PS4. You'll hear that from me first, but for now it's simply not worth it. So with that being said, those were my first impressions, my day one review, I guess, kind of for the PS4 Pro. So yeah, let me know what you thought in the comments. Have you bought one or not? What do you think about it so far? Are you a 4K TV owner or not? And then for now, thanks a lot for watching, and hope to see you again next time.